Hey, hi everyone. This is Manish. I'm part of Azure Cosmos DB engineering team. I'm glad to have you in this series. Um, this series is actually focused on providing information on how our partners are using Azure Cosmos DB for developing scalable GenAI applications. Every month, we are hosting one of our skilled partner who will come and help us understand by showcasing their implementation or their offering. So this month we have Celebal Technologies, one of the partner of choice, and we have actually um, uh, Anirudh Kala, who is founder of Celebal Technologies. He's a seasoned leader in the industry. And Celebal Technologies itself is actually AI partner of the year from Microsoft, and they have many projects that have implemented across the globe. Welcome, Anirudh. Welcome to the show.
Thanks, Manish. Thanks for having me.
Yeah. So without wasting any minute, I want to just directly fireside chat. But before that, I just wanted to say, Anirudh, I think you are basically traveling across various industry, across the globe, and you're meeting multiple customers. What is one thing you are finding very interesting and very common across all the CIOs and CFOs in mind?
Well, I would rather talk about the chronology of things that have happened in the past and then where we are with respect to that. I think 2.5, 3 years back, GPT, Chat GPT, and then OpenAI and Azure OpenAI, they became the, like the heartthrob of every organization in terms of what they wanted to achieve with GenAI. Today, people are talking about governance, observability, right? Right triggers, incidents to be measured, tracked, and explained. So we've seen this entire AI, boom to, of course, become bigger alongside more focus on governance and observability, I would say. So I think that's where I'm seeing them. For someone like me, I think that's the area of focus. And I believe it also adds a lot of value to the organization because what they're now innovating on needs productionization and it needs that kind of support and coverage. So I think that's where I would say things are.
So, yeah, I think then the second question is very much relevant to what you have just mentioned, that which is holding back Gen AI's adoption, and where do you see the biggest opportunity?
I think if I look at GenAI today, it's agentic, right? It's not just RAG anymore. Everyone's talking about agents. Yes, there are agents in production. Copilot itself is a big agentic economy. Look at the system of records like Salesforce, SAP, or ServiceNow. They all have got their own agents. I think it's all about how do you manage them centrally. What I mean by that is, so think of an enterprise scenario. Let's talk about any manufacturing firm that's trying to automate their payments, right, or trying to reconcile their invoices. Now, it may require, the person on the ground to probably look at the line items of the invoice compared with the PO. If they're not matching, go to a stakeholder, and the stakeholder says, okay, create a ticket, query your lakehouse, see what has been the payment for this vendor for the last 6 months, and then take a decision. So the agent has to orchestrate against these multiple things, right? It may require to look at a particular ticket, look at particular data points from SAP, look at a particular invoice, understand the payment terms, understand the invoice status, understand the invoice data point from the data warehouse, create a summary, send it to the stakeholder, take the approval, go into SAP or any of the ERP for the matter, and then and run the transaction or make a payment proposal, and finally someone else would look at the summary and make a payment, right? Now, this requires an orchestration of multi party agents, which could be, as I said, the agent federation into one centralized economy. And then it would require traceability and governance of the entire workflow, which could be spanning across or transcends over multiple system of records. And that's the biggest challenge. The real value will come when we'll be able to do this kind of an outcome for large enterprises, or for the matter, even smaller organizations, but they might still have multiple system of records. So I think it's the ability to run these federation. And when I say ability to run the federation, it means how do you govern the agent in a particular system of record to function and behave exactly the same way 100 times when you run it, or the entire workflow to behave exactly the same time 101th time to behave exactly the way it behaved the first 100 times, right? That's the confidence. So it again goes back to governance, goes back to traceability and explainability.
Awesome. And how is Cosmos DB, helping in terms of addressing the requirements you are basically having? And one of the important thing which is, coming very predominantly, like, um, because you are performing vector search, building a Gen AI application. It is actually orchestrating all the processes you have in the businesses. So it will become a mission critical app. So how Cosmos DB is helping there?
See, if a generative AI application is in production, it eventually becomes mission critical, right? And if it
Yeah.
becomes mission critical, you got to have an entity, an object, or a player like Cosmos. For various reasons, maybe I'll talk about a few of them. For example, first, it's the primary vector store, right? So all my embeddings are stored there, whether it's created by OpenAI or any other encoders. I mean, Cosmos becomes a container for these vector files, right? Or vector indexing for faster search and so on. I would say hybrid search filtering. I mean, combining vector search with the rich metadata, right? Another big aspect of Cosmos that I personally like a lot. The reason why Cosmos came into existence is the low latency retrievals, right? And now low latency retrievals for RAG. I think that's a very niche area, and specifically when you're looking at millisecond query outcomes in high peak inferences, that becomes like really important, right? Then I think one aspect which is becoming more and more relevant is the session and personalization store. So what that means is, could I store um, the let's say a particular consumer's data and ensure my outcomes become more and more personalized? Now, how that helps? Think of a scenario like a supply chain, right? In supply chain, you may have a procurement agent, you may have a indentation agent, which is basically replenishment. You may have a data center, or let's say distribution center. I'm sorry, distribution center. Persona agent. How do, and these are of course roles that are played by multiple personas, people, right? If they have to augment these people, or they have to really help these folks, they got to also own those personas. And for that personalization, I believe this maintaining, per user conversation state, short term memory, and personalization vectors, I think that really becomes, I would say, imperative. And Cosmos solves that problem, I would say, left, right, center, right? Audit training
Yeah.
on canonical prompts and all of that, I think, is a very, I would say, more horizontal outcome. But I would say the previous one I said have been my major reason why I've gone for it.
Awesome. Yeah, I think having a existing business data and your chat history will actually help in terms of providing a better context, and you'll be able to provide better responses to the end user and have a better and contextual interaction with the user.
Yep.
Yeah, I think you nailed the point. Actually, this is the question which I wanted to ask you is, actually, you're the right person because I know you have many implementation. I don't know how many we can count, but these are almost countless successful implementation you guys have done. So this is the right question to ask from you. So what are the toughest scaling challenges you are seeing when moving to GenAI applications? And how did Cosmos DBs help?
So I assume when you say toughest scaling challenges, you are probably asking about uh, what happens when the inference peak load comes into real life, right? Or when am I
Yeah,
understanding the question correctly?
this is very important and very interesting situations. And almost all projects has this. Sometime
Absolutely,
you
absolutely.
sometimes you actually it's a good problem to have. So what you
Yeah.
do is you task to develop an application, and you get into that mode where you wanted to have a very highly optimal, highly interactive application. So suddenly user got interest, and you have many users which you have not anticipated came to your application. Suddenly the scale got burst out. So how do you handle those situations? So yeah, and how
It's
customers.
a good problem to, yeah, it's a good problem to have, first of all, and it's
Yeah,
not an easy problem to solve at the same time.
correct.
I mean, thanks to the solution like Cosmos DB, what it really helps us with is this, high Q. I mean, for example, this high QPS during inference peaks. So there are multiple ways of solving, but I think the way we've solved that specifically is by using, by partitioning keys effectively, like hash, stock ID, or tenant, whatever, right? And using auto scale. I think that's been one very specific outcome for us. Dedicated RU, provision for hot partitions and so on and so forth. So these are tuning things that you could do in Cosmos that we've been doing and fixing that specific QPS problem. But that's on the consumption, right? But there's also a problem on the size, like large vector indexes, right? And growing storage. So you can have better partition containers and lifecycle policies, right? For ephemeral logs, cold tiering, there are so many things, right? So that particular aspect of the storage and these large vector indexes, I think Cosmos does a very good job there. Then uh, then there is consistency versus performance, which is there's a trade-off that you have to select. Then you can
Correct.
select the appropriate consistency level, right? Session, bounded CLNS, and so on. Uh, per use cases or the way you want to do it. I mean, it depends on how you're looking at a particular scenario, particular persona, right? Um, then I think these are three, four major things I think that has really helped us in scaling, tackling the scaling problems. Cost control has been a big aspect. Uh, I would say careful query optimization specifically and on auto scale RUs has been one of the ways to keep the RU consumption in control. Cosmos as a whole, I would say, offers all these optimization parameters for cost, storage, compute, right? I think that's something
Got it.
you not find in a solution that has all these hybrid indexing available with searches, with sessions, with low latency rags. That's why I would say it's like the Maharaja burger of data warehouses or sorry, for databases specifically for GenAI, because it offers you all those layers. Now you may not want all of these layers on day one. That's okay, but what you would want is the ability to have all these skills once you grow to that level. And I think that's the exact way how you use Cosmos.
Awesome. I think you summarize it well. Um, so, what is the business outcomes you have seen so far when you're using Cosmos DB for GenAI application?
I'll give you one example, and there are hundreds of them, but I'll give you one specific example where it has really worked well for us. Um, this is this is one particular scenario of contact center. Now, in contact centers, uh, if you look at the full modernization journey of a contact center, it starts the voice bot, then there is agent assist, and then the final one is the overall analysis of the calls and let's say the post call analysis, as you call it. In the agent assist or the live call analytics, a human agent is given a screen where the agents would push nuggets, right? These are called knowledge nuggets, right? And these nuggets are nudged to the user in such a way that it takes care of the personalization and it has to think of the entire context, so entire short-term memory management and the low latency rack. All three needs to be well curated. And what that means is Let's say you are the caller, you are a consumer, I am the human agent. We both are talking, and the human agent is given certain set of these nudges, right? With the knowledge nuggets, as I said. So these nudges basically are very personalized reg outcomes inferences that are shown to the consumer, or to the human agent. And I think that has really helped us not just visualize a use case, but put into production. Because think of it, there are contact centers with 2,000 agents talking in parallel. Now, 2,000 personalized agents running in parallel with low latency RAG, with these knowledge nuggets that needs to be nudged to a user. It's a mammoth scale. And 2000 is not the biggest of the call centers. It is, I would say, the medium size. So you see the scale and the challenges. I think Cosmos DB has been very, very impactful in that regards.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Anirudh. I know you have multiple calls, and you were so busy this time, and you still spare some time for us. Thank you so much, and it was pleasure to host you. Thanks a lot.
Thank you so much. Thanks for having me. You take care.
My favorite section called Architecture Spotlight and Demo. Here we'll see the solution in action. We have Anirban Das from Celebal Technologies. He's a software engineer and the brain behind this solution, and he's going to give us more insights about the solution. They have implemented the solution at various customer places and across the globe, and they got a lot of improvisation in the productivity, and this was really amazing to see in action. So Anirban, over to you. Please take us through the solution.
Perfect. So thanks for the introduction, Manish. So yeah, this is also one of the most exciting implementation that we have done. It's done globally by us, and we call it the AICXM platform. It's a full end-to-end call center modernization solution, and we have been deploying this across the globe in Malaysia, UAE, US, and a lot of different places for various contact center domains. Now, the idea behind developing this solution was very simple. We analyzed a lot of contact centers. We tried to understand what are some of the issues they are facing. And in this new AI age, what we wanted to do is we wanted to improve the customer experience, of course, and reduce the time it takes for customers to get answers to even simple troubleshooting queries they might have. So the challenges we saw across all the different contact centers, even across domains, was pretty much same in terms of that they were receiving too many repetitive customer calls. The agents were getting overwhelmed because of the call incoming volume, of course, and also the amount of data they need to go through and find to troubleshoot those requests. And at the same time, of course, the low value interactions that the agents have to take care of, which doesn't really suit the exact needs. So what we have done is we have built a system that blends a voice bot automation, a live call assistance, and a post call analytics, all in on to enhance the contact center experience for customers, of course, as well as for the agents, so that they can assist better the customers, give a rich customer experience. So if I just quickly move to the next slide. So these are some of the challenges we had find out when we are actually exploring the contact center space, starting with again the average handling time. This is one of the major concerns. Even handle simple queries, just because the information is not available to them readily, they need to find some information again and again. They need to search and skim for it. So first, then as I mentioned, the high inbound call traffic volume is what puts a lot of pressures on this agents working up. Alongside that, for the customers, the hold time is a major concern. The more hold time you have, the more risk you have of losing that customer. So this is where our solution really turns in and help with that voice bot automation. What it also does in terms of assistance for the agent is the after contact work, compliance check for the agents, making sure they are always within the compliance, they are telling the right things, giving the proper information to the customers, as well as provide the agents with upsell and cross-sell opportunities at the same time for the customers. customer, all driven by a CRM backed approach, so that we are doing it on a per customer basis. We are giving very personalized experience to the agents and the customer as a whole.
Awesome. And how does your solution connects to the customer PBX?
Right. So basically, we wanted to design our solution in a way that the traditional PBXs will have no issue in integrating with our solution. So the AICXM platform connects directly with the customer's PBX over SIP. Basically, it's a SIP protocol. This allows us to both receive the audio stream and send it back through the voice bot, which helps the voice bot in communicating through the traditional PBX approach that the customers must already be having in a contact center. For real-time assistance, however, which includes the summaries, the automated agent assist, the upsell cross-sell recommendation, things like that, we rely on another protocol from the SIP called the SIP-REC protocol, which allows us to tap into an active call and sort of mirror that call into AICXM, where our live assistance and analytics layer can process it instantly, giving the best response, giving the best assistance to these agents, and they can give better recommendation, better answers to the customer in a whole. So the conversation continues normally on the customer's existing system. AICXM is just working in the backend, doing the speech recognition, the intent detection, the sentiment analysis, everything with zero interruption in the live call. It's a completely non-intrusive approach of extending the traditional PBX functionalities with the latest AI features that we have in the market.
Awesome. Can it work seamlessly with the existing PBX, or customer need to go for the new implementation?
Absolutely. So what we have done is we have used a standard SIV approach. We did not want the customers to go through the trouble of getting a new system set up, making major changes on their PBX system, etc. So the solution plugs in into most of the PBX systems that is SIP compliant, be it a Cisco system, a VIA system, etc. And it does not disrupt the existing setup in any way. It just extends the existing capability of the traditional PBX and gives the customer the ability to work with the latest AI assistance tools we have in the market.
Nice. And what is the impact of the solution for each of the implementation you come across?
Yeah, so again, the impact is the main thing that is driving AICXM, of course. The impact has been tremendous that we have observed for our customers. Across all our deployments that we have done, we have seen a clear shift in how this contact center used to operate versus how they are operating now with AICXM. So I'll go in the flow that our conversation starts with the voice bot coming into the picture. The voice bot reduces the time a customer has to go for a hold or something. It is a multilingual capable voice bot, so it will be able to answer in the customer specific language. It will handle any low value conversation that can be filtered out, and only the high value conversations actually goes to the human agents now. The agents again are spending time where it truly matters. They are solving, selling, and building proper relationships now. They are not focusing on low value interactions anymore. And the business as a whole, you can see the average handling time we have seen drop by around 20%. The first contact resolution rate has gone up to 82%. Of course, the customer satisfaction score, the CSAT score, of course, is very important for the contact centers. That's gone up by 20% almost. And various other similar statistics, including the hiring cost for training and everything, escalation rate, resolution rate, etc. Everything have been better with the AICXM platform coming in and providing AI assistance to and providing new edge technology to this whole traditional PBX setup.
Wow, the impact looks really impressive. Can you walk us through the architecture? What are the components you're using of the solution?
Definitely. I'll just go to the architecture. So this is a very high level architecture we have for the whole AI CXM solution as a whole. So again, the architecture that we have designed when you are working with contact centers, and especially when you are dealing with scenarios like voice bot and real time, one of the major concerns you need to deal with is the latency has to be kept as low as possible. You don't want your customers or the agents to wait a long duration of time just to receive an answer. So the architecture we have designed is built in a such a way that it supports low latency, high availability, and at the same time, it helps the customer in scaling these solutions as well very easily. So we have driven a microservice-based approach. We have deployed everything on Azure with auto-scaling containers, everything to handle the fluctuating call volumes. The data layer, of course, is powered by Cosmos DB for us, which scales dynamically, ensures secure, and we have PII compliant storage options here available as well. Because when you are dealing with customer data, making sure the information is properly masked when we are storing and everything, we don't want to breach any compliances, of course. So those are very important when you are dealing with customer data. So PII compliant storage is something we have added to AICXM for that. For observability part, we rely on OpenTelemetry, and we utilize Azure Monitor and Log Analytics specifically alongside application insights to provide a centralized logging environment, and we get real-time performance and health insights while this whole system is running end-to-end. And on top of that, when the post-call dashboard comes in, the PCA dashboard comes in, that is a multi-screen analytics portal. Which what that means is the PCA dashboard we have for like a team lead or a CXO personnel would be very different. They will be seeing specific KPIs designed for their teams. The QA team will see specific KPIs designed for them with proper RBAC access given. And of course, everything here is running on Azure. We are utilizing the auto scaling functionality, a major standpoint for us so that we can scale easily. And we are using LLM model from AI Foundry, semantic kernel for the agentic flows and everything. We are relying on that. And all in all, the storage layer is something that is driving the whole architecture for us, be it through Cosmos or the blob storage.
Very nice. I think this architecture has blend of both the performance as well as optimal cost. And I'm sure that you have already thought about the high availability of this solution because it sounds like a mission critical system.
Definitely, Manish. So being in a high availability and a low latency scenario is a must for a contact center engagement, of course. The contact centers needs to be available all the time, be it the voice bot, which we want to be available 24/7. At the same time, this agent assistant solution needs to be deployed on high availability mode as well. So all the solutions we have designed here, the kind of services we have relied from Azure, everything, we are utilizing the best-in-class high availability practices. We are ensuring we are using a microservices pattern so that we can scale easily and everything. So all in all, it's a completely HA-based system that we have designed.
Superb. I think this sounds really interesting, and I am really looking forward for the demonstration. Would you like to take us through to the demo of this solution?
Perfect. So, Manish, yeah, I'm very excited to show you the demo. Of course, the demo includes a whole contact center, the AICXM platform as a whole. So, before we jump into that, I'll just give a quick context into what we are showcasing into the demo. So, when that customer calls comes in, we'll show here the call will be initially picked by a voice bot who will greet them and capture their intent. So, the flow we have designed here is for a banking use case. We have given a bank name, the ICS Bank, just for reference. It's just something we have created here. And it's a credit card issue that the customer has come up with, which the voice bot will try to handle. And if it gets to a certain point where the voice bot cannot handle, it's a high value, high complex query, it will transfer that to a human agent instantly. So then the live call assistance part kicks in. Now, in the live call assistant, the conversation is happening in real time, and the dashboard, the assistance tool we have built, will be providing contextual response suggestion, check the sentiment, fetch CRM relevant data for the customer as a whole. And once the whole live call assistance part is over, we also do after call work here, which you will be seeing in the video itself as well. So again, when the live call is done, we switch over to the post call part where we are generating AI powered summaries, compliance notes, sentiment scores, etc. So all in all, from the first hello to the end post call journey that we have, the entire flow we have here is automated, it's intelligent, it's fully integrated into the customer PBX, customer contact center as a whole, and ensures that the experience this contact center agents and the customer gets as a whole is very seamless in nature. So I'll not talk anymore. Let me just quickly play the demo and show you the whole solution.
Welcome to ICX Bank. How can I assist you today?
Hello, actually there is an issue with my credit card. I made a payment using it a few days ago, but it was never received.
One moment. Let me investigate that payment. I understand your concern about the failed payment. Let's verify your identity first. Could you please share your mobile number and email address?
Yes, my mobile number is 7123192305 and my email is raj@gmail.com.
Checking the payment details now. Thanks for providing those details. Could you please share the last four digits of your credit card so I can look into the transaction?
6939.
Reviewing the payment details now. I can help you with your failed payment. Could you please share the date and amount of the transaction you're concerned about?
Yes, the transaction happened on 28th April. The amount was 18,000.
Let me pull up the transaction details. I can see the transaction from 28th April for INR 18,000 failed. The amount should be reversed to your account within 5-7 business days. Need anything else?
Yes, I was charged an 2000 fee on my card, but I was promised it would be a lifetime free card.
Investigating the card details now. I see an annual fee of INR 2,000 was charged as your annual spending was below INR 50,000. Let me transfer you to a supervisor for further assistance.
Right, I'll just take a quick pause here. So basically, since the voice bot understood that the query the customer has is again a high value query that's outside the scope of a voice bot to handle, we are transferring this call to a live agent now. So this is the live call analytics dashboard we have built. So before we continue with the demo, I'll just give a quick brief about what are the different KPIs being shown here. So we'll start with this voice bot summary, which is again because the call has been already handled by a voice bot. We don't want the customer to repeat any of the information they have provided already. So this provides a quick summary here to the agent who is picking up the call about what the conversation was with the voice bot. This is a checklist that makes sure the agent is within the specified parameters of the call. They are doing all the compliance properly as per the organization policies. We have the wisdom engineer, which is a chatbot to assist this agent in case they have a query, and some specific other related KPIs as well, like the customer history and everything, which I'll let the demo play out and show how these are being useful in the call. So let me just play.
Hi, good morning, sir. This is Ram from ICX Bank. I see that you have a concern regarding annual fee on your credit card. How can I assist you with that today?
Hi, actually, I was charged an annual fee on my card, but I was promised it would be a lifetime free card.
All right, sir, I get that. Your card has a waiver condition. If your annual spending is below 50,000 INR, then the fees get applied to your card.
I wasn't told about this before. I would have gotten the HDFC card. It gave me similar features and it was truly lifetime free.
I get that, sir, but this is a condition to waive off the fee, and you might have received the same with the card on the documents.
No, I wasn't told about this. If you can't help me, you can just go ahead and cancel my card.
No, wait, sir. What I can do here is I can make your card as a one-time exception free for this year.
Okay, that works for me right now, but I don't want to deal with this every year.
I get that, sir, but this is the best I can do for you right now.
Well, if you can't help me, you can just cancel my card like I told you.
No, sir. Okay, I see that you are our esteemed customer and you have a great limit of 2.5 lakhs on your credit card. So we have two offers for you. Do you mind to listen them?
Yes, sure, go ahead.
Sir, the first is to convert your current card to our ICX Platinum card. It comes with a small fee, but it is packed with benefits. Another is to make your card a truly lifetime free card, as you were told earlier.
Sure. Tell me more about this platinum card.
All right, sir, just give me a second. Our Platinum card includes 1400 plus airport lounge access. You get 45,000 plus of travel and lifestyle benefits, and you earn a 5x reward point on each spend.
I think I will just stick with my card. Just make it lifetime free.
All right, sir, I understand that. So I will go ahead and initiate the conversion of your current card to the free version.
Works for me.
All right, sir, you will be receiving an SMS regarding the same. Also, you will be receiving a feedback form which help us in improving our services. Please fill that form, sir.
Okay.
All right, sir. Thank you for banking with ICX. Have a great day ahead.
Once a call is completed, we can access the post-call analysis screen by clicking the post-call button. Now let's wait for a few seconds for the data to process. This screen provides a 360-degree view of the call, giving businesses actionable insights to drive agent performance, compliance, and customer satisfaction. At the top, we have some KPIs. The first is predictive CSAT score. Then we have call outcome, which basically tells us was the issue resolved or not resolved during the call. Then we can see if the agent attempted to perform cross-sell or upsell during the call, along with the information of that action. Towards the right of it, we can see the average sentiment of the agent as well as the customer during the call. Next, we can see that we also have the complete transcripts of the conversation that happened between the agent and the customer. We also can see a summary of the whole conversation that happened between them. Similarly, we have both the summary and the transcripts for the conversation between the customer and the voice bot. As we come towards the right, we can see a sentiment distribution graph which showcases the sentiment of the customer throughout the call. Below it, we can see a golden journey graph. It basically showcases the comparison of the actual flow of the call with that of an ideal one. It would help in identifying process gaps. Below that, we can see additional charts. First is the talk time split between the agent and the customer. And towards the right of it, we can see a topic coverage graph, which highlights time spent on each topic during the call. As we come towards the left, we can see some more KPIs. First is the action pointers, which are basically the actions taken during the call. Next are issues, which basically means the issues identified in the call Outcomes tell us about the outcomes of the call, and improvement pointers are the pointers that the agent can work upon to improve their performance. As we come towards the top right, we can see we have a tab compliance report, which showcases the agent's performance against predefined compliance checks, along with reasons if any of these compliance fails. Next, we have compete analysis, which reveals how effectively the agent responded when a customer mentioned a competitor. It is crucial for competitive positioning. Finally, there's a built-in Hindi translation feature, making the insights more accessible to a wider audience. Overall, this post-call analysis helps businesses improve agent performance, customer experience, compliance adherence, and competitive response strategy, all in one unified view.
Perfect. I think that was a quick demo we have for the AICXM platform as a whole.
Welcome to
Uh,
ICX Bank. How can I assist you today?
and it encompasses the whole solution end to end that we have built in terms of it starts from the voice bot, goes to the live call assistance journey, and then analyzes and shows all the different KPIs we are showing in post call journey as well.
Thanks, Anirban. I think it was a really nice demo. In the demo, I think you also explained about the KPIs, out of which there was a KPI called Wisdom Engine. Do you want to share more details about it?
Definitely. So I'll just quickly jump to that specific screen as well so that we can okay, yeah, this would be it. So basically, the wisdom engine that we have built here, it's like a free flowing chatbot that is running in the context of the conversation. What that allows the agents to do is simply search very user specific question that otherwise they needed to skim through 100 pages of documents to find, or troubleshooting steps that they might need to find. They can just put it in the wisdom engine, and the wisdom engine will concise the information that is available in the knowledge base and provide you a very detailed as well as concise response with links, images, anything that is relevant with the query. It is a little different from some of the other KPIs that you see, or maybe the suggestion KPI. This is a very short context KPI. So it helps the agents in keeping the context of the conversation very quick and clear. But the wisdom engine is more meant for something that the agents need to search from their knowledge base and gives a very detailed answer to the agent instead.
Very nice. Okay, this is great. And I think you also had, I can see in the screen, it has a customer history. Do you want to share more details about what is this and what is the relevance here?
Definitely. So the customer history is a very important part of a contact center solution, of course, because the contact center solution has to be able to adapt to the needs of the customer. And every customer profile is different. They can be a previous customer, they can be a new customer, they can have a various kinds of offers they have taken in the past, which helps us in suggesting better offers in the future. So what does customer history mean to us is we have built deep integration with the existing CRS system, and that helps us in knowing who the customer and what their journey is or in the contact center. This allows us to give very curated and detailed suggestions to the agent in terms of upselling, in terms of cross-selling, or even in terms of general suggestions as a whole, making sure that the suggestions we are providing is very tuned and very on sync with what the customer prefers to get.
Awesome. And so much, Anirban. It was really nice, presentation and the walkthrough. Yeah, it was a lovely presentation we had here. Thank you so much for this. Now it is the next section we have is the latest and the greatest with Cosmos DB. So Here we have few announcements we did. We have made a replica, same region replica cluster gone live, and with that, now you can actually have the cluster gets created, which will continuously synchronize, with the primary your read-write cluster and ensuring the data consistency. Same region replica cluster is also important for offloading intensive read operations such as dashboarding, serving tens and thousands users, and you will basically be able to have a better scale by reducing the load on the primary cluster. Additionally, if your primary cluster is not enabled for in-region high availability, the replica cluster can serve as an in-region disaster recovery in the event of failure. And you can promote the replica cluster to become the new read-write cluster. If you want to, understand more about this latest announcement, you can go to ak.ms/mdbvcore. And one of the things which I wanted to share is basically the connection string, so that there is a focus connection string for this replica cluster, so that you can have your all application read only portion of your application will focus on this particular cluster, and you can scale. Another thing which we announced was CMK in MongoDB vCore. It's already gone live, so you can go to aka.ms MongoDB-vCore-CMK, and you can learn more about it. Just FYI, we have two options. We have initially we had service and managed key encryption. Now you have the option to add another layer of security, which is basically customer managed keys. And many organization, requires full control of access to their data using a CMK, and the ability to make their data stored in cloud, inaccessible, ensuring the data encryption for CMK for Azure Cosmos DB MongoDB enables you to bring your own encryption key to protect data at the rest. So that's what these announcement help. So a few people have shared that they would like to understand the Cassandra offering we have in Azure. So we have Cassandra MI. It's a 100% open source product. So let me do one thing. Let me share some glimpse of it. Last session I also shared, but I'll just give you a little glimpse of that particular. But yeah, okay. Just 1 second. I'll just play that video. Let me do that again. Give me 1 second. I'm just sharing so that you will see the information with the audio. Yeah, it has a quick walkthrough about what Cassandra MI is. And this will actually give you a high-level understanding about the offering. Yeah, I'll just share that. Second.
What if you could keep everything you love about Apache Cassandra and gain the benefits of the cloud? Azure Managed Instance for Apache Cassandra brings together the best of your open source database with Microsoft-backed services that deliver more flexible management options, performance at scale, and high availability, all with simple pricing that you control. Azure Managed Instance for Apache Cassandra enables hybrid connectivity to existing clusters that provide database management services to enhance your workloads. When you connect your on-premises Cassandra instances, your data stays in sync and remains up to date thanks to built-in replication and synchronization across the entire cluster. Use the same CQL language you're used to, along with Cassandra drivers and tools to keep development flowing. Instead of devoting time to maintaining cluster health and handling repairs, patches, and upgrades, Azure Managed Instance for Apache Cassandra takes care of that for you. Flexible management options offer the same level of control and configurability you're used to. Deploy with ease through features like on-demand node provisioning and granular control for common tasks. Experience enhanced performance at scale through hybrid connectivity that makes it easy to add new Cassandra instances and seamlessly scale compute capacity, helping you boost productivity. As a trusted database service, you can ensure proper orchestration of new nodes within Cassandra rings. With built-in high availability, disaster recovery, and automated backups, you can build low-latency applications backed by the robust security of Azure. Or termination fees. Only pay for the compute you use with flexible, instance-based pricing. When you're ready for a fully managed cloud service, you can migrate your Cassandra workloads to Azure Cosmos DB, an elastic-scale, globally distributed database that delivers guaranteed performance and unlimited throughput. Start your NoSQL evolution today with Azure Managed Instance for Apache Cassandra.
So this was the high-level intro about the Cassandra MI and solution. Yeah, perfect. So now it's time for question and answer. If you have any questions, please feel free to put it onto the chat window, and we'll be happy to take up those questions. It's time that I'll pick up questions which are already pre-submitted. So if you want to submit your questions, please do it. We have possibility to pre-submit your questions so that we can answer it early. Yeah, so we have one question around the hybrid search. Does hybrid search has performance challenges? The answer is that hybrid search. So everything which is basically design and working in any database environment, you need to ensure that the data model get correctly visualized. So what you need to do is you need to select the right partition key and perform the queries. We have in fact last to last time also I have highlighted that when you are working on partitioned environment, you have multiple options. So you can basically go for single partition, or you can go for single partition key, or you can go for hierarchical partition key. We also have GSIs. That ways you will be able to have a flexibility in terms of what level of keys you want to configure. And most importantly, when you are performing the queries, you can actually select one partition key over another. And those partition key will actually will be there. Ensure that you have when you're selecting a partition key or you're selecting a data model, it has to be focused on how you're going to use it. Focus on your queries instead of just storing the data. So that's very critical advice I can share it with you. That all the data model guidelines we have for any other Cosmos DB workload is applicable to GenAI workloads as well. So you can apply those learnings here to ensure that you have an optimal journey. Another question I have is basically we are going to have vector as part of a document or outside of document. And if it is part of the document, then because Cosmos DB has the limit of 2 MB, does it create a challenge for GenAI application? The answer is no, because most of time you have, the one document means you have one record. And when you wanted to store your data and you are storing the vectorization vector on top of it, vector first of all has a numeric value, so it is cheaper than other data types. Other than that, it basically has the 2 MB limit is quite a lot. Harry Potter books are basically size 2 MB. So I'm sure that your every record is not gonna be that much size. So, but the in nutshell, you need to make sure that you know how you can have a lighter documents to make sure that you are able to have cheaper or write operations, cheaper read operations, and of course, when it comes to partition key, selection of those partition key when you're performing queries is further going to help you here. So yeah, those design aspects are very important. Another question I have is basically that when it comes to the cost optimization, what are the key things need to be considered here? So okay, so it's a very broad question, but I wanted to take up one by one. First category is before you are going ahead, you need to make sure that you use our capacity calculator, and that capacity calculator should be used so that you'll be able to pick up how many writes you're going to have, how many reads you are going to have. So those consideration need to be there, and it is simpler because in a provision environment, you are basically being thrown the number of CPU, how much amount of RAM you are going to have. You don't know exactly, because as an application developer, you mostly focused on number of transactions you are going to make, and you are designing your system according to that. Hence, it is actually going to give you a better capacity calculation. So once you are done with the number of RUs you have identified, then another thing which you can do is basically optimize your indexes. Have indexes which are basically if you have bigger document and have more number of terms, and you might want to and of course, another factor is that you have more writes than reads, then you can certainly save some cost if you can customize your indexing policy. Last not the least, which is very important to make sure that when you're performing a query, you are basically going to get the any operation, like forget about query, you are making read call, write call, or query call, you always get the RUs charge, and we provide the request unit charge possibility to see that where the RU is getting charged. You can specify the diagnostic logs so that you know that which operation is taking how much time, how much RUs, so that you can particularly target those operations which are costly or which are having a higher latency, so that you can easily target those and you can address that particular piece. If for some reason, let's say you don't have a case where you can select a most idle partition key, you can go for GSIs also, lookup collection, lookup pattern, or the GSI pattern is also a very important pattern, so that you'll be able to have many views with different partitions, and GSI will take care of all the synchronization seamlessly. Yeah, so this is quite interesting session. We have well over time. With that, thank you so much for joining in. And next session we're going to have will be on next month, and last Thursday of the next month, which is 27th of November, and we'll have more interesting solution then as well. With that, thanks, Dan. In case you like, you please give a thumbs up, and just in case you have more questions, please feel free to share those questions on the comment box. We'll try to address those questions either offline or maybe in the next session. Thanks a lot.